Where did that one come from, too? 'Cause all of a sudden...
Oh, yeah. It was,
I heard...
guess who it was from?
Was it from Trump?
No, it was from Joan Rivers, dude.
Joan Rivers was like, Obama's
Joan
gay?
Rivers was like, Obama's gay. And then she fucking died. She dropped Obama's gay and then got killed by the CIA, dude.
Joan Rivers said Obama's gay and then committed suicide by shooting herself in the back of the head 3 times.
Yeah, dude.
Hello.
Hello.
This looks bad.
This looks so good. What are you talking about, Russ?
No, this looks bad.
It looks pretty good. This will be great.
Me and Jason, hello, Bubble Boy.
I'm about to get a PUI, podcast under the influence. You know what's up?
We're driving to Greeley.
I hope to everything that's good and holy in the world I get pulled over, and I'm like,
sorry.
Officer, what do you think about the Israel-Palestine conflict?
I gotta turn these mics down. This is so loud. Jason, no, you're allowed to be loud.
No, I'm not. My mom yelled. My mom thinks I have a hearing issue.
Your mom thinks you have a lot of disabilities.
Yeah, she thinks I have Down syndrome, and she definitely thinks I have hearing. I think I might have a hearing issue.
Yeah?
I do talk loud a lot of the time.
That's
I feel
okay.
like I'm whispering right now, but this is a normal talk.
This is just normal tone. You can talk. You could speak up. You're just blowing it out a little bit, but you could speak up. I adjusted it.
I blow it out every single time I'm on stage.
On the toilet?
Every time. I'm a tough act to follow on the stage and in the bathroom. You know,
on the can.
That's what I'm going to ask them to. I'm going to ask Jared to bring me up with that.
He's a tough act to follow.
On stage and in the toilet. Give it up for J.J. Alexander. And then I'm going to come up and make fart noises for 30 minutes.
Wow. This is what you get with clean comedy. This is two clean
comedians talking about pooping.
Farting is the opening act. Hello. Me and...
Closing with pooping. Farting's the opener. Closing with pooping. P
is the
honestly
middle.
Kind of hack. P is hack.
P features.
Give it a big round of applause to your host, PP Willies, everyone. PP Willies. Like, honestly, like, that's the thing. Like, hosting is so unimportant in comedy. Like, you literally could come out as PP Willies and, like, no one would remember you.
No one cares at all.
No one cares.
I had a big conversation with Ed Bell last time I was hosting Loonies, and he was like, yeah, we both had the experience of, like, you host the show, and then someone comes up to you after, and they're like, I loved you and the comedians. Like, you were just as funny as the comedians were. And it's like, I'm
a big boy.
I'm a comedian, right? They're like, no, you were almost just as funny as the comedians. So, like, you should give it a shot. You should try comedy. It's like, I did 15 minutes of comedy for you, in front of you.
You're like, but I'm such a big boy. I'm so funny and talented.
Everyone tells me.
Ed Bell's me. Come on. Ed Bell pun.
Okay.
Clip it, baby.
No.
If you say Denver comedy reference.
If you say clip it, it's not getting clipped. It's not gonna happen. You said start recording. I have something to say, and then I started recording. And you started talking about farts.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
that's all I want to talk about is just farting. But yeah, no, I got my orientation at Dutch Bros.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good job for me. I'm the only guy.
Yeah. What location?
South Academy. It isn't open yet.
Oh.
It's gonna be the new location.
You're at a new spot.
Gonna be very cool. I'm the only guy in like my group, which they were like, we really pride ourselves at Dutch Bros on having a very diverse hiring setup, and I'm like, I'm the only guy here.
Yeah,
I'm a minority.
We love diversity here at Dutch Bros. Flat-chested women.
Shut up, dude. Don't disrespect my coworkers. Don't disrespect my coworkers. My coworkers have fat cans.
How dare you? They're all jugged to hell.
How dare you, Russell?
There's no diversity when it comes to.
I farted.
That's the sound of us passing a car.
That's the sound of me passing gas. What's going on?
We're in. This is the worst episode so far.
This is the best episode
This
so far.
episode's bad.
This is way better than what freaking George Delgado's. That's who you're going to compare fucking me to?
George is the best. I love
George's
George.
episode is good. I like George a lot. He's very funny.
You've been mean to other guests every time you've been on, and by every time I mean last time and this time.
Every time. No.
You're always picking fights.
No, never. I think Mike Hammock is a
You
very
said
reputable
John
headliner.
Bueno had a weird body. That was one of the first things you said when the episode started.
That is pretty funny. I wish I could, like, if I wasn't speaking truth to power in my comedy, then I couldn't say that. But I do. But that's
John Bueno has power over
you. Yeah, I'm punching up. John Bueno's. He's who I'm punching up against. I'm like, he's pair. He's a funny guy. He's very funny.
What is this?
You gotta slide it in.
No, I mean,
that's like most of what I do when I talk about other comedians. Is I'm like, this guy's act sucks. He should quit. He should give up. Don't ever touch stage again. Really nice guy though. Really nice guy.
Sweetheart.
Everyone loves him. But
George Delgado makes a hell of a salsa.
Is that real?
That is true. We did
That's fun.
when we did New Faces. We tried to do a potluck for our group in the semifinals. We're like, oh, we'll all bring something, and I brought sliders, and George brought salsa, which was spicy enough that it ruined someone's set, which was very funny. Was
that Logan?
Yeah, I don't know if I should bleep it.
Nah, man.
But Logan's very funny.
He is very funny.
He's great.
Yeah,
but
that chippy. He got that chip.
He got a hot chip in his throat.
Hot chip in his throat.
It ruined his set.
It's better than what ruined Russell said with all that hot jizz.
It all got stuck in my throat.
It got stuck. He's like, oh, this was supposed to be the best night of my life.
Oh, why is there habanero?
Why is there habanero? I'm sorry, Mom, if you listen to this podcast.
Dude, both our moms are going to listen.
Both our moms are going to be like...
Also, Jason's mom, thank you for letting us use your Tesla.
Oh, it's so good.
So that we can podcast and drive safely.
Hit that Tesla self-drivies mode. Hit that Tesla self-driving mode. That's pretty good.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't have to steer.
No, I know. Why are you saying you hit that?
You got to tap it. You got to tap the button, and then it goes into Tesla self-driving mode.
But you already tapped it.
Yeah.
So why are you saying it?
Just comedic effect and to try to add value to your podcast.
Never.
And create a good listening experience.
Never try.
Never try.
Trying is the mind killer. You
That's
like Dune?
No.
Oh, dude, Dune's sick. Anyways.
That's podcasting. I want to keep talking about Dutch Bros.
Please,
working with all these ladies.
Two of my best friends,
yes,
and my wife, and my brother, and my sister-in-law have all worked at Dutch Bros.
Whoa.
So I'm very familiar.
Very familiar. That's good.
How'd you end up there?
I saw an ad on Facebook for them hiring, and I was like, holy shoot, dude, $20 an hour. And I was like, that sounds pretty good.
That's how my brother met his wife. He was working at Dutch Bros. She came through and gave him her phone number, and now they're married.
I'm gonna show up every day. I'm doing Jazzercise right now. Have you heard of Jazzercise?
Where you just
I do that. I do that every day. I do an hour.
Because your head needs to be bigger.
No, it's my jaw needs to. I want to look like Matt Rife. I'm trying to get handsome. That's my new goal. Is like I'm gonna
be handsome.
Yeah,
you're born with that, or you're not. But
no, you can get the Jazzercise, and you get your jaw muscles getting going. This mustache is working wonders for me. You know, I got to get a hair graft in Turkey. That's what Mike Hammock told me to do on my podcast.
Yeah.
What's very fun about Russell and I for the next couple of days, me and Russell are going to get a bunch of each other.
Yeah.
We got today this show, and then we got Russell's show,
Pikes Punks at the 59er.
At the 59er.
And then we're doing Kuyan Comedy Fundraiser at the Mining Exchange.
Oh, I was talking about the podcast, and you're doing my podcast on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that.
You piece of shit.
We could just we could just swap cast this.
No,
we could just post this to both of ours.
We can't. We could do that.
We could do that.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So this is the JJ Alexander show
and Bubble Boy podcast.
Also Bubble Boy.
Yeah, but I know I want to have you in the studio. I want to have you in the studio still.
So are we posting it on both or no?
We can post this on both.
We got Spiffy Cola.
Oh, dude, I bet it's gonna be bad.
I don't think there's a lot of overlap between your audience and my audience.
I think it's 100%, actually.
Who do you think listens to both of ours?
Thad?
Thad does not listen to yours.
He does. He told me.
He's lied to you.
How do you know?
He would never support you.
Why would he never support me?
He doesn't like you. He tells me.
There's no way.
Yeah, he tells me behind your back. You'll say
no
something
way.
and you turn around and he goes,
No, he's lying.
yeah, he doesn't like
He's
you.
lying, man.
He's told me.
Honestly, like I do have another friend in the comedy scene that's like, you know, Thad hates you, right? I'm like, no, he doesn't. Me and Thad are friends. He's like, no, Thad hates your guts. He's a psychopath.
Oh, too many
Like,
people have made this joke now to where it's actually sinking in.
No, like I genuinely thought he didn't like me for a little bit, and then it was like, fine.
And now you're.
Now I'm insecure again.
Oh, good. I brought you back around.
I'm being very insecure. I'm usually very confident. I've been in a very insecure place in my life recently.
That's where creativity flourishes.
It did. It's like being like, I need to be so funny I'm deserving of love again. And then
Yeah.
and then there's just a constant cycle of that. And then I go write a new bit about like my little sister. And then I'm like, this will get him, you know? And then like this will get someone to hug me from behind and scratch my head.
Is this it, Dad? Is this the moment?
Literally, yeah. It's literally that. I'm like, are you proud yet, Mom? And then it just doesn't happen.
So are you're working at South Academy Dutch Bros? Go
Yes.
visit Jason.
Yeah, man.
What was it? My brother, when he did the interview there, they were like, cool tattoos. You like Star Wars? And he's like, yeah, I like Star Wars. And then they talked about that for like 6 minutes, and they're like, all right, well, you start on Tuesday.
Literally, yeah, it's very similar to
It's
what
just a
happened to me.
vibe.
Nah, man, I was like, hey, I'm down. I want to have a fun time. I said something and made everyone laugh, and then I pretty much got the job. That was pretty much it. Felt like I was auditioning for SNL. You know?
You're doing characters and voices.
Characters. I'm like, wow, why am I giving a coffee? And then like, this guy's great.
Okay, here's Jordan Peterson explaining Pokemon.
Well, you know why, Squirtle? Like,
Now, Ashy's got the Raichu. He's got a Pikachu. And he doesn't want it to be a Raichu. And it's like, what the hell is that all about? I'll tell you what it's bloody well about.
I bloody well will tell you Team Rocket needs to get their shit together.
Your Peterson just sounds like generic nerd. Yours is there's a monster from Monsters, Inc. who specifically talks like that.
I only
Sully
can do-
Sullivan, oh, whoa.
Whoa, gee whiz, guys. I'm Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, that's pretty
good. Yeah. I am Jordan Peterson. And that's all I can fucking
Don't do your one thing.
That's my one. Let me do the thing, Russell.
What's the one,
Yeah.
the furthest from white voice you could do well enough that you think you can get away with it?
That's a great question. Probably Bruce Lee.
That's a safe thing, because it's not I'm doing an impression of the Chinese immigrants or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
Bruce Lee.
I'm doing Bruce Lee specifically.
And this is Bruce Lee. This is Bruce Lee. That's it.
Terrible Bruce Lee. As someone who's watched Enter the Dragon 1,000 times, that's a terrible Bruce Lee. There you go. Yeah. It's cat-like.
Podcast.
It's cat-like. Yeah, if it sounds like a small motorcycle is going past you very quickly.
Man, it would have been so funny if we just brought the freaking guest spot and just had him sit in the bag. That would have been so funny. I would have like honestly, I wish like when I'm looking at it now, that would have been so funny.
Yeah, Jason was like to a group text of like 3 other people. Was like, does anyone want to go to Denver with us? I'm like, does someone want to just sit in the back while we talk for an hour and a half? But that would be funny now if we just never addressed it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have addressed it.
Would have.
Never would have been like, what do you think about it?
No, just made him lay down.
Hey, you actually gotta, there's one more seat back there. You gotta put that one
You gotta
up.
keep crawling.
Put that one up.
This is a nice, I've never been in a Tesla before. There's a lot of real estate in here.
A lot of real estate. Very cozy, very comfy.
Do you drift off?
I have almost fallen asleep driving this car a lot of times in self-driving mode. Because like I would stay up I would drive this car up to Denver. I'd go hit Irish Rover, another open mic, and then I'd hit Lion's Lair, and then I would go up at 1 a.m. at Lion's Lair because I hate my life. And then I would go up and then do usually pretty poorly, and then I would go home and then barely keep my eyes open driving home.
I know I'm not a real comedian. I know for a fact. Like, because I don't do open mics. And it's 90% laziness. It's not like I think I'm too good for it. It's just like, I don't wanna. It doesn't seem like a fun time. It makes me too anxious.
I think if you just go out on Sunday, that's all I would do.
Going up to Denver, driving an hour and a half away to go up at 1 a.m. to do bad. Like, there's nothing that I'm getting from that set that's making me go, like, I gotta change some things.
Yeah.
You're yawning now.
Yeah.
You're about to doze off mid-pod. We're 15 minutes in. Terrible. We gotta talk about something interesting now.
I want to keep talking about my job at Dutch Bros.
Yeah. So you got the job. Now you have to learn the secret menu.
I have to learn the menu. And they're like, hey, there's a 100-question exam that you have to prep for. I'm like, I'm making chocolate milk. I'm only going to make chocolate milk. That's all I'm going to do.
I want a tuxedo. What's in it?
Tuxedo?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get coffee.
Yeah.
And cream. And sugar.
Okay, what if I want a Kokomo? What's in that?
You're gonna put coca.
Okay.
And then milk in there.
Great. This is good improv. If I want an annihilator, what's in that?
My ex-girlfriend's phone number. Come on. Hey.
What are we doing here?
I think I should do that.
I'm very excited.
I should just be doing window bits. That's what I want to do.
My brother, he told me very fun part of working at Dutch Bros is people ordering a 911 as a 911. He said that's funny every time. It's always funny. But related to that, he told me, because he would try to come up with questions, because he, like, working at Dutch Bros is like a very social, hi, it's so good to meet you. My name's Russell. How are you guys today? It's very high energy, personality,
that's
relational job, and that's not my brother at all.
That's very interesting.
And so to like get over that, because he's like, I don't actually want to talk to people. I don't want to know what they've got going on this weekend. I just want to take your order and go make you a drink. So he would have like a question that he would just have prepared that he would ask everyone, and then like, so like, what are you drinking? And then as he's typing it in, he's like, so what's your favorite kind of whatever? But just to make chit-chat.
What's your favorite tragedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting at the window and they're just like, it's 5-minute wait for a drink. And so one time he asked someone, so, there's planes in the Cars universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's I guess in Cars 2, like they show the Cars Pope.
Mm-hmm.
So that infers that there is like
Catholicism.
There's car religion. There is a car Abraham. There's a car Abrahamic God that car Judaism and car Christianity and car Islam follow. So he's like, so you think there was a Cars 9/11?
It would have been less sad because it would have just been one plane. Like one person, because that's just one unit.
No, it'd have to be 2 planes still.
It was 2 planes, but there wouldn't be people inside the plane.
Yeah, it would just be a building.
Yeah, it would
just be a guy like, ow!
Is the building alive?
But
this is my impression of the building when a guy on 9/11. Ow!
Yowza!
Ouchie! No!
But I guess he asked that.
Oh no! He's going into my ribs. That's the building.
The building is Japanese.
No.
But yeah,
that's how buildings sound. Race has nothing to do with this, Russell.
Buildings can't hit the L.
The buildings are like, oh, the plane are going so fast. No. Clip it.
Stop saying clip it. We're not gonna clip it. But he just asked that to like a person trying to get their drink at Dutch Bros. Like, do you think there was a 9/11 in the Cars universe? And they're like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And he's like, What can I get you to drink today, huh?
Just pull out.
You want an Islander?
Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. actually had the dream? Or do you think it was more of an allegory? Like he actually had a dream about children playing together?
Uh-huh.
I think he made it up.
So do you want that as a mocha or as a latte?
Do you want a mocha or do you want whole milk?
Do you want that hot or iced?
Do you want that hot or iced?
Yeah, so you got to have some bits. You got to have some bits ready.
I'm going to say like...
Are you just going to do your material?
You'd be like, hey, glasses on. I pissed in your coffee cup. Glasses off. I drank your drink. Drank it.
Just trying to solicit tips any way possible. You're like, so what can I get you? And wouldn't it be crazy if Donald Trump got your drink? Wow, what's going on? It's like, can I just order from you?
That's 100% something I would do.
Yeah. If you see someone has like a MAGA hat or a thin blue line bumper sticker, you're just gonna do Trump.
I'm like, you have a great car. Like, I'm gonna get tips, dude. All I care about, I'm trying to get that tip action.
Yeah, do a low cut shirt.
If I would bet the Trump people would not tip as well as the Biden people.
If you did the impression.
Yeah.
You don't think they would see it as...
Anytime I see a Biden-Harris bumper sticker pull into the Dutch Bros drive-thru, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Get out of here.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone with a Biden-Harris bumper sticker.
Oh, I haven't.
No one loves Joe Biden enough to get a bumper sticker.
I do. He's so sexy. Such a good-looking president, dude. Look at handsome Joe.
He looks like a mask of Joe Biden.
Oh. We almost got him to say it.
Joe
Biden is a
Joe
clone.
Biden
looks
like a bad Halloween mask of Bill Clinton. That's what he looks like.
That is a great freaking bit. That is very funny. He does, dude.
He does. Who's your favorite president? Sexually. Who do you think you put all the presidents in a battle royale?
Yeah.
48 presidents. How many presidents have we had? 46.
I think 46.
You put them all in a gladiatorial arena at their peak physical health.
Yeah.
No weapons. 46 presidents, peak physical health. You throw them all in a battle arena. Who do you think's coming out on top?
I think you gotta go with Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy's gonna be up there.
Yeah, he was an animal. He's
a dog.
I heard that he just stopped being president for like 6 months and went on a hunting trip to Africa.
Yeah, he just got bored a lot.
I respect that. I respect like doing the hardest job in the world, and you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's Teddy Roosevelt and Dave Chappelle. They both got too stressed.
They both got too stressed and went to Africa. I can't wait till that happens to me in 6 years. It's like
when you're still at Dutch Bros and you're like,
oh, dude, I'll kill myself. No, I mean, I would love it to move.
Scheduling manager's just gotten too crazy. I gotta go to Liberia.
No, man, I think I have a chance. You know,
of what?
Maybe of success.
Sure.
In my life.
Sure.
I just got to get one TikTok clip and then get on a BS Netflix TV show. Making a career in comedy doesn't seem that difficult. If you could just like get on a terrible Netflix show, then you can headline till you die, and then you just figure it out.
I mean, you've had an Instagram or two pop off.
Yeah, it does nothing.
Yeah. What's that done for you?
It does nothing. But the thing is that you have to have the mix of that and like create something that gets you loyal fans. Like you go and you have like your TikTok that pops off, and then they're like, holy crap, this guy has made a podcast with 150 episodes. Or it's like, oh, this guy has a sketch show. Like, I'm trying to write a bunch of sketches right now, and like I want to be like diversified. And like the thing that I'm trying to figure out is like what's worth my time and what is not. It's very tough to differentiate.
You just do stand up.
Yeah, I do that. I freaking rip shows sometimes. You know, I have a good time.
Are you gonna take acting classes?
Yeah, I might.
Really?
Only to meet a girlfriend. No, I'm kidding.
You're gonna meet a girlfriend,
and then
at Dutch
she's gonna
Bros.
give up on her acting dreams to pursue stand-up comedy.
Do the cool thing where you date another comedian and then one of you is definitely more successful than the other. And it's like a talk. It's not something you talk about in your relationship, but both of you know it's there, but it hurts too bad to address it.
Yeah,
do that. Do that move.
That
I'm not thinking about anybody in particular who one of them is definitely way more successful than the other one, and I'm sure it eats at them every single night when they go to bed.
That's very funny.
That could be about so many people. That's the fun part.
That is very funny.
There's maybe someone who will listen to this and they go like, "Is that me?" And it's like, it probably is, but I wasn't talking about you specifically.
This is what I will say. I was like, there was this thing. Like, I signed up a friend on an open mic one time.
Okay.
After me, I go up, do very well. They go up, do not so good. I say, hey, next time I'll make sure that I put you before me. Implying that they could not follow me because I'm so good on stage.
Uh-huh.
I got in a lot of trouble and they got very mad at me.
Well, maybe they should be funnier.
Maybe.
Like, that sounds like a them problem.
Well, freaking maybe they should get in 5 minutes. It doesn't contingent entirely on the crowd being pro-abortion. Maybe you should write 5 minutes of good material. Sorry. Okay.
See, now when that person hears and they go, is he talking to me? It's like, it definitely is.
Yeah, Luke Stam, you piece of shit. Can't follow me, motherfucker. Sorry, I swore.
So I got heckled recently for the first time.
Oh, I have a good heckle, yeah.
But it's just like, I just kind of talked over them. I was just like, I'm talking and you're not going to talk anymore. So I just kept talking. I wish I would have maybe riffed. I don't know. But I kind of was just like, I'm talking and you shouldn't be talking anymore. And then getting through that. Well, I did have the guy who threatened to kill me one time, but that was a whole other thing.
Talk about that.
I've talked about it before, but it was at Looney's at the festival. It was like a showcase, and I said School for the Deaf and the Blind, and this guy was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up." I went, "What?" That was kind.
How did you hear me?
I did tell him, just plug your ears, and they started coming for the stage, and then Eric and Chris had to throw him out of the venue, but
give him $50 for doing that.
Exactly like they planned. But there's certain things with comedy that I don't know if I'm just inexperienced or if I'm just dumb and I don't get it. But things like being buried. You do great. I go on after you. You did so good I could never follow that. I get buried. But I've also seen I go up, I do so well. I'm definitely going to bury the person who goes after me. But then they just ride the momentum that I have then built. Yes. And I'm like, I feel like I'm sure I just don't understand it, or maybe it just hasn't happened. Not to be I've never been buried, but I feel like being buried is a state of mind. You get buried if you let yourself get buried.
Yeah.
If you go oh, that was very funny, we're all going to have a good time, and then you also do fine. I don't know. I feel like getting buried is you saw someone crush, so you lose your confidence, and then so you don't perform as well.
If this is a
but maybe I just don't get it.
This is we talked about our mentalities going into the new faces thingy.
Yeah. And you're I'm going to dominate, and I'm I will do my best.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think that there's a part of that is good, because I look at another person and I say, if they do well, I'm if they like this person, I'm so much better than that person, so I'm gonna do really well. And usually I end up doing pretty well because I'm a piece of garbage. And I have to put people down in my brain to make myself feel better, and that's because of the insecurity, me being insecure of myself. I have to overcompensate of being no, I'm the best.
Yeah,
it's a constant cycle.
You gotta find the nice middle ground. That's also people who are very successful, football players who make it to the NFL, have to genuinely believe they are the best in the world. You can't be well, I'll try. You have to kind of be a little narcissistic to even think you should be allowed to make it to that level in the first place.
Oh, exact same thing with stand-up.
Yeah. You have to be a little narcissistic at all to do stand-up, but you have to be narcissistic enough to think that you deserve to be successful, whereas I'm very much like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, like
I'm not going to be successful with that kind of attitude, where I'm like, I'm just having fun. I think as long as we're all having fun, there's enough laughs to go around.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like that is, I think you're going to end up happier than the people that, like, sell their souls to do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And they, like, dedicate 15 years, and they're just a feature in, like, Des Moines.
I'm going to have joy, but I want to have money. I want to have money, and it's never going to happen for me.
No, man. I like, honestly, like, that's, like, the thing that I, like, Rick Rubin talked about. He's like a music producer guy.
Okay.
He's very, very famous.
Oh, is he the dude with the
hair.
homeless man hair?
Yes.
Okay. It's just wisps.
Yeah. So Rick Rubin was like when you do a creative pursuit and you're trying to make your living off of doing the creative pursuit, it affects your art. Because instead of you trying to create something that you love, and
you're so stressed about living.
Yeah.
They're kind of either phoning it in or just doing whatever it takes to make money instead of being truly artistic.
Yep. Which was kind of like, I listened to that. I'm like,
I gotta get a job at Dutch Bros.
I should go get a job. And also, like, the thing is, I kind of wanted to get around people that weren't depressed all the time.
That's healthy.
I think Dutch Bros, it's like, it seems pretty good. Everyone there was like pretty happy. Like, they're all like.
Well, and also, how old are you? 24? 23.
Yeah.
You're still in the age range-ish where it's not sad to work there. You still have time.
It does feel
26,
sad.
27, it's really like
my friend's 25, has a college degree, just bartends. Like, that's, like, that blows. I think go to college and I'm making more money than some of my friends that went to college.
Yeah.
And are, like, doing, like, writing jobs.
Yeah. I don't think this is something me and Mike have like not argued about, but like I don't think your value should come from the work you do, right? What you do and how much money you make and what position you have is not indicative of the value that you as an individual carry. Yeah. I get that. However, in my head I go like, how are you? Like, there was a gal I used to work with. Yeah. She a little old lady, and she worked in the same place for like 26 years, making like $11 an hour.
Yeah.
And she had always worked there. And then I worked there for like a year, and then I got promoted, and then I was her boss. I'm like, does this not bug you? Does this not bother you that you've been working here for 20 years, and you've just stayed in the exact same spot, and now some, at the time, 21-year-old is in charge of you? Does that not upset you? Because that would make me so mad.
Yeah.
Like, does that not? But some people, there's like, no, I'm happy with this. This is the standard I've set for myself, and they're happy with that. And I'm happy that they're happy with that, and they should be allowed to be happy with that. But it upsets me for them. I'm like, you should want more for yourself. You should want better for yourself. You should not ambition is not a necessarily like morally good thing. Ambition is
morally
normally it's bad.
Like, usually, like, I can almost guarantee if you broke it down, like, the reason for, like, why do I, like, because the thing that I want to do most in the world is I want to do theaters. Like, I want to headline theaters. That's my dream, right? Like, I want to do it more than anything in the world. Like, more than I want a family, more than like, it's real, and like that's like there's darkness that propels that. Because, like, there's a part of me that says, like, if I get this external validation of being a comedian that can sell out theaters, like, that sort of validation will make me feel like I'm enough.
Yeah.
And that's really bad. And that's not why you should be pursuing something. But then there's, like, the thing, because there's also, like, a part of the reason why I want to do that is I want to just see how big can I do it. Like, what's my ceiling for being a comedian? And, like, trying to live up to my own potential. And, like, trying to figure out which one is it. Is it my insecurity that's motivating me? Or is it me trying to get the best out of myself?
I am very excited to see you finally headline theaters. And then an Instagram post where it's like, comedian Jason Alexander found dead in hotel room.
That's so true.
Because it wasn't
terrifying.
fulfilling at all, and you're like, I finally made it to the top. It's lonely at the top, and then you take your own life. That's going to be fun for me.
And you're like, well, thank God I stopped going to open mics.
Well, I finally got to feature at Looney's.
Well, the year is 2035. Russell
Eric finally let me feature at Looney's.
What is funny is I asked him like very recently to feature. I was like immediately and he's like, we need to see you do it about 6 times. I'm like, how many times have you done it, Russ? You gotta have done it more than 6.
Yeah, I'm too embarrassed to ask him in real life, so
please.
I just email him. I email him and I go, may I feature? Here's my avails. And then he responds. He goes, do you want to host 6 months from now? I'm like, yes, I do want to host 6 months from now.
Yeah, I'll host for Mike Hammock again.
Gun to my head. I'll follow Mike around.
Literally, just like tell Mike next time he headlines Looney's that he has to bring you his feature.
Hey,
make it
no,
contingent.
There's no way.
You would do that.
He probably would just let me, but there's no way I'm gonna go, hey, this is your weekend. You're gonna let me feature for you.
Do you want us to be friends?
That's a wild
I think
move.
Like blackmailing your friends for opportunities is a good way to get booked.
That's nuts. I had when Mike did his special at Comedy Works.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 4 people who were like, Did you ask to like do a guest spot? I'm like, no, it's his thing. I'm not just gonna be like, hey, you're getting a chance to do something cool. I've been doing stand-up for 3.5 years. This is my opportunity too now. But so many people were like, you gotta ask him. I don't have to ask him. That's rude as shit. I'm not gonna ask him.
But this is the thing. I did pull up to Vultures yesterday and be like, can you put a brother up? Can you put a brother up? He put me up. Dude. Whenever I look at a lineup and I'm like, oh, this is not great, and then that's when I'll go ask.
You're gonna save the show?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I've never thought like this show would be better with me. And
every show I'm on. That's how I feel.
Either see a show that is really good and I wish I was on it, or a show that was really bad and I'm like, thank God I'm not on that. I've never been like, see a show that I'm better than everybody and go like, well, time to let me roll up my sleeves.
The lion has to remind the gazelles who runs the jungle. And then I go up, I'm like, man, talking to girls is hard, right, fellas? What's going on? Freaking, you guys talk to your moms? I do. And then do that to a rapturous applause.
The lion has to remind the gazelle. So my daughter's been saying the wackiest things lately.
Wackiest things.
My daughter can say the darndest things.
What's very funny is that like I was explaining like after like 'cause I had a pretty I had this whole weekend at like the Denver fucking Improv, and the day after I was like, I'm gonna go do open mics, and then I was like telling that to my friend, and she was like, oh yeah, you got the Mamba mentality. I'm like, I'm gonna go talk about farting into a microphone. I don't think I'm Kobe Bryant.
No.
I think this is.
I've never heard of the Mamba mentality.
You
in my
haven't heard
life.
of the term
Never.
Mamba mentality?
No.
It means like being like very aggressive with like the goals that you want.
Never heard
like,
that.
And like, cause like the Mamba mentality would be like Kobe Bryant would go 76 East. All right, rock on. We made it.
Oh, the self-driving isn't really.
I'm driving now. That's why the driving quality has gone down drastically.
There's nothing that's more fun than going to than killing at I'm at the Improv or I'm at whatever. I'm at Comedy Works, crushing, and then immediately going to the bar show the next day and with the exact same jokes, doing the worst you've ever done in your entire life.
Yeah, it was like,
I don't know what's different. I'm the same.
Yeah, I went to La Burla B after. Yeah. Also, they booked me for their Topless show, and I don't think I should do it anymore. They booked me.
Hey,
and now I'm scared.
No one should do that. You should be an adult and say no.
I don't like making people mad.
You doing
I don't like
Topless show
mad.
Is funny.
And that was going to be my whole thing, is I was going to get some TikTok clips out of this, and I'd be like, who would have thought that I would have the best rack on this lineup? And then just murder. That's my whole plan.
I like your idea for like, I'm gonna go on a show that is exclusively women. Destroy. Prove that I'm better
Bury everyone. Get in my car with nipple pasties on. Drive home.
Not only am I funnier than women, I have bigger boobs. I've been Jason. Thank you so much. What a champion. What an ally.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm very feminist, dude. I'm a huge feminist. Yeah, man.
That's so funny. No,
yeah. I don't know if I think I might tell her that I'm ashamed of my body. I think that's gonna be my plan. I'm gonna be like, I don't got the body confidence. I need to go like fast for like 30 days.
At the Loonies festival, Billy Anderson, I chatted with him. Tracy introduced me to him. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, dude, you got, especially like you don't get high. It would be so funny. We got to get you on the Gateway Show." The Gateway Show is a big show that tours the country. You do 5 minutes of your set, they take you in the back, they get you high, and then you do 5 minutes more of your set now that you're zooted. And I'm like, it would be funny to be like the guy who doesn't do drugs. The only time I do drugs is on stage and trying to remember my jokes. There is something I think very funny about that I think is like, at least I pondered the idea. But also it feels a little gross to be like, I have values and I have morals and I don't get high. Unless you give me $13. I'm sure he pays more than that. But it's like, unless you give me $40, $100, then I'll get high. That feels gross and bad and like, oh, you actually don't have values or morals. You're just a loser. And it's the same thing with like topless show. I'm like, would you get topless in public any other time? But for $40, you're gonna do it.
It's $50.
Okay, for $50. Never mind that. It's like if you would already do it.
That's very funny.
If you were already gonna do it, that's fine. If you're already, yanking them out at the bar for the public, that's fine. But it's like it feels weird to be like, but if we give you money, then it's like I don't know. So like same thing with the high show. I don't know if doing it just for money feels gross.
It's like I think me doing Trump while I'm shirtless is very funny to me.
If you have an American flag,
I think I
painted
should. I'm gonna
on your belly.
I'm gonna wear an American flag thong. I think is my plan, and I'm gonna have MAGA 2024 written on my chest,
dude.
Dude, that would be the funniest thing I possibly could do. It's like I have MAGA written on my back, walk into this place, and then I get shot in the freaking head.
Hey, no one there has a gun.
Oh. I'm not sure if you've followed the news recently.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
At my one TikTok that blew up is me doing Wheel of Doom where I'm in my underwear. And there's hundreds of comments on this TikTok, and none of them are like, "Wow, he's so funny. That was so funny." They're all like, I want. There's one specifically that Chris, the bartender at Looney's, brings up every time he sees me. But there's one comment on that TikTok that says, "I want to slurp his girt," and Chris says it to me every time I see him. But there is in there. There's also people, because I also wore American flag whitey tighties on the chance that they picked me to go be in my underwear, and I was right. But their comments are like, "Oh man, I thought this was hot until I saw the underwear. Big ick. No thanks. American flag underwear? Yuck." Like, first of all, you were lusting after me in your mind's eye until you saw American flag underwear, and then you're like, "No, thank you." That was the turnoff point, not my tits, not my body, not my personality, but like everything was going well. If I took you back to your apartment and I was to bed you, and I slowly undressed myself, and this, I'm assuming all the comments are from like 17-year-old trans kids, which I'm like, guys, come on. This is why you all keep getting molested. You gotta knock it off. You gotta stop. But like I undress you, and then it's like, then I drop my pants and I have American flag underwear, and then you're gonna go like, never mind,
dude,
I don't want this anymore. I'm going home or whatever.
Dude, like I
get me an Uber.
I bought this book, and it was like like it was like the Ick Chronicles. It was at a Big Five.
That's a place to buy a book.
I'm like, now this is gonna be a good airplane read, and it was just like a list of things that girls find unattractive about guys, and I'm like, guys could never write a book about girls. Like, there's nothing, like this is the thing, any kind of woman, I don't care if they're big, small, white, black, brown, anything. If they're nice, like, we're good. That's pretty much it. Why is it wanting me to take Fort Morgan? Well, we're taking this way.
All right. I was waiting for that to be racist somehow, and you were just like, no, everyone's great.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to be like, but if you bombed Pearl Harbor, you stay away.
No,
and nothing.
I'm very accepting. Like, everyone's like, hey, Jason, what's your type? I'm like, freaking
kind-hearted.
Literally, yeah. Like, because I've dated, women on the thicker side. I've dated women on the thinner side. Like I'm very accepting.
I've dated minorities. I've dated normal girls. I've dated regular ones.
I've dated redheads.
That's one of my favorite.
I've dated blondes. I've dated people who can read.
That's one of my favorite Joe Biden quotes, where he's like, "You got black kids, you got Hispanic kids, and you got normal kids.
you got the black kids, you got the Hispanic kids, You got
and then you got good ones.
You got the ones that don't steal. They were like, Joe, come on, Joe,
knock it off.
What, I dare say something?
Yeah, I love good old Joe.
Dude, have you seen that conspiracy theory about him shitting his pants at the Vatican?
No.
That's my favorite conspiracy
theory. What's that?
It's so much more fun to be conservative. This is what I'm working on this bit, and I don't think I'm going to work on it tonight, because who cares? There's enough time.
It's Greeley.
You
don't have 30 minutes. You got time to kill.
I got 30 minutes, man. I will do some crowd works, man. And Mike was like, I asked Mike advice on what to do with my big long set, and then he was like, hey, what do? You just time out your closer, and then just keep watching your time, and if you run out of jokes and you look down at your watch and you're not the time yet, start asking people what they do for work. Is what he said.
It's so funny to imagine hitting your big closer, everyone pops, standing ovation, and then you still have 3 minutes and you're like, so what do you do for a living? Like,
so anyways, yeah, so
unreal, apropos of nothing.
So he's like, you wait and you put that at the end. Is you like wait to like have your closing bit, and you're like, this is how long this is gonna take.
Oh, he's saying do 95% of your act, do crowd work until you get to the 2 minutes that it takes to tell your closer.
Yep.
Lazy.
Very smart.
Lazy, Mike.
That's good.
What do you? Wait, what were we talking about before we go?
I do want to finish
Joe Biden pooping his pants,
Joe
please.
Biden pooping his pants. It's so much more fun to be conservative, because like you just get to be like, you hear Joe Biden shit his pants at the Vatican, and we get a laugh. Versus like if you're like a liberal person, you're like, this is harmful misinformation, and it must be thwarted.
Did you know Trump's gonna overthrow Congress and set up an autocracy theocracy? It's like, you hear Joe Biden poopy pants? Poopy pants?
You know Donald Trump is destroying democracy and hurting low-income families. We're like, Michelle Obama's a fucking guy, dude. Seriously. I'm being 100, like, dude, I'm super sure on this one. Like, seriously, dude?
There's
so sure.
No way. Where did that one come from, too? 'Cause all of a sudden...
Oh, yeah. It was,
I heard...
Guess who it was from?
Was it from Trump?
No, it was from Joan Rivers, dude.
Joan Rivers was like, Obama's
Joan
gay?
Rivers was like, Obama's gay. And then she fucking died. She dropped Obama's gay and then got killed by the CIA, dude.
Joan Rivers said Obama's gay and then committed suicide by shooting herself in the back of the head 3 times.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, the Clinton body count is fun. I think
yeah, that is fun.
Conservative or liberal, you have to agree Clinton body count is very fun.
Yeah, it's like how many people did Bill Clinton sleep with?
It's not even the body count I was talking about.
The Clinton body count. Dude, I bet Hillary Clinton's still a virgin, dude. That's what I bet. I guarantee it.
Did you see
Do they have kids? I heard they don't have kids.
Who knows?
Dude, that's like
Yes,
that's
and.
like you should not be able to have political power if you do not have kids.
Because you have no one who has to live with the repercussions of the decisions you're making. Yeah. That is, I do think there should be an age cutoff limit of like 80 and up, you don't get to vote anymore because you're not going to be around long enough to see the decisions that you've made, that you voted for, acted out. It happens at jobs.
Yeah.
You've never had a real job. It happens at jobs all the time where people are leaving. They are quitting. And they're making big organizational changing decisions on the way out that they don't have to live with. And it's like, why are you doing this? You're not even going to be here. It doesn't affect you. Why are you making my job worse? Whoa. Thank you, autopilot. Why is it singing at us? Oh, please keep your hands on the wheel, it says to you.
Don't tell me what the hell to do, Tesla. I'm doing a podcast.
Tesla, I bet your wife's a man. Shut up, Tesla.
I bet you're. Yeah, one of the sketch ideas I have is going to be Tesla drunk driving mode. So it just like calls up your ex-girlfriend and like it's a whole little sketch I have written.
I have sketches written. I think I've talked about this before, but
I think me and you should write TikToks because that's how we're gonna go famous.
We should write TikToks.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I'm gonna start doing that with Luso. I'm gonna do a lot of collabs with people to try to get clicks. That's the goal.
Bummer.
What do you mean bummer?
Just that idea out loud. That's sad.
You're like,
just like, I got to collab to get clicks. I understand I'm doing a podcast, and the whole point of doing the podcast is to produce content so that more people see your profile, so that maybe you get booked on shows. Art is dead. It's all for virality. However, saying it out loud sucks.
Yeah, being like, hey, do you want to collab sometime and go look at this? I have this TikTok idea where I go, I say, hey, can I have some of the milk in the fridge? And you say, yeah, sure. And then I chug the entire gallon. Like, that's the content I'm going to be making. Like, that's the goal.
Is this good?
Is this
good? Is this funny?
Is this funny? Me chugging milk as fast as I can and throwing up in my little diaper?
Is this good?
Is this what society wants? It's just me doing crowd work clips and asking girls how many if they would sleep with me. Is this art? Am I doing something good?
This is art. Dude, I said at a show recently,
so funny.
I was on stage and like, sometimes you do stand up and you're like, you know what? Comedy is art. I'm an artist. I'm creating art. It's the art of the spoken word and eliciting response. I'm an artist. And then sometimes, like right now, you're just a whore. You're just a whore on stage shaking it for dollar bills. And everyone just kind of quietly looked at me. I was like, oh, I thought that was going to get a laugh, but this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's definitely like the same, like being a comedian is just being a stripper for guys. That's all it is. Like, your life was not going great. Yours actually was when you started doing stand-up.
Not bad.
Russell is my life was not going good when I started doing stand-up.
I'm the only one who's held it together.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm not going to be successful.
Yeah. Like when I started doing stand-up, like, I just went through a breakup. I was super poor. COVID just happened. I'm like, the worst I've ever been. Everything in life sucks, right? Started doing stand-up. Life didn't seem so bad. And then it got exponentially worse. Everything went so much worse than I thought it could go.
You're like, my mental health's not in a great spot. Let me go do a thing where I beg people for
attention,
for validation night after night. And guess what? 80% of the time, they're not giving it to you. It sucks. It sucks to be. That was the first time I featured for Mike at 3E's. The first show went fine, and the second show, like Friday night, I had never been that bad. I've never gotten that bad of a response for an audience for that long. Like, it's like, oh, I'd bombed or I'd sucked for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or at an open mic or whatever. But Mike, featuring for Mike at 3E's, was the first time where it's like, oh, I did bad for 20 minutes. That's a long time to have 100 people not like you, to 100 people collectively go like, you're not for me. It's not good for anybody. It's really bad.
Yeah.
That is Lou Ferris.
Yeah.
He's got some little bits, got some little sketches on Instagram, and some of them have like really popped off. And he's got 100,000, 120,000 followers on Instagram. And we were doing a show once, and these two comedians like kind of courted him, and they were like, "What's it like to be famous?" And he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And they're like, "No, you have so many Instagram followers. What's it like to have so many Instagram followers?" He's like, "I mean, it's fine. It's okay." And like, so does that do you meet anybody cool? Have you gotten sponsored? Have you gotten sponsors? Like, no, not really. But that was the conversation for 25 minutes, and he just kept looking at me across the bar like, save me from this conversation. It's all these 20-year-olds could come up with to talk about is his Instagram followers and having Instagram followers and what it's like to have so many Instagram followers and who's the most famous person who follows him on Instagram.
It's like having that many followers, that's not going to move the needle in terms of tickets. That's not going to make a person come see you.
Well, he was like, I mean, the only thing that if I could reach out to the Funny Bone in Tempe, Arizona, and be like, hey, I'd like to host or feature there, and they can see oh, he's got 100,000 followers, he's verified. Sure. He's like, but it gets me booked at some smaller clubs around the country, but that's kind of it. But that's all their frame of reference was. So if you want to blow up and get huge, just know that's going to be the only thing people have to talk about you. They don't see you as a man anymore. They see you as an idol to man's own hubris.
That's all I want. I want a trophy wife. I want super cool car. I want to be doing theaters.
Social media is the new Tower of Babel. We're trying to build our way to God.
And it's going to come crashing down.
And God's going to scatter us to the winds.
I can't wait until Instagram goes away and then everyone goes back to being sixes at best. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
They stop being so hot? Is that what you...
Yeah, dude. It's like when you got to make the perfect picture to go make yourself feel better about yourself. Just be real on social media. Go take a picture of you right after you took a big old dump.
Take a picture of how sweaty you are.
Take a picture of your sweaty armpits. Look unattractive on social media.
Just got out of the gym.
Just got out of the gym.
Just lost 6 pounds.
Dude, I literally did that joke on stage. I'm not even kidding. It's like
bummer.
It was I've been working out of the gym pretty hard. Yeah, I just go to the bathroom and leave. I'm down 13 pounds. And I just would say that into a microphone. And I'm like, this is good. I'm an artist. I'm going to be famous.
I'm gonna make it and definitely not kill myself.
I'm gonna make it and not kill myself. I don't think I'm gonna kill myself. I think what would happen is I would hit how old are you, Russell?
29.
So I'd hit 29 and I'd be like, you know what, I haven't made it, and then I just would go be a boring person, and then that's all I would do.
Don't be nasty. Don't be nasty to them. You better dance with the one who brought you, Don't be nasty to the guy who got you here.
I love you so much, Russell. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you.
I've done nothing for you.
I'm so fucking alone.
I'm being a dick.
No, I'm so alone, dude. I'm so goddamn alone. This is how it goes.
I remember... Did we talk about this before? I don't know.
I don't know.
The first time I saw you at an open mic, Johnny was like, check this guy out. This guy's... He's new, but he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. He, pointed you out, and then you, ate it for, 4 minutes.
No,
and
I remember. I
was like, this is your guy?
I remember the joke I
guy?
did. I would go up on stage and be like, hey, is there any Michaels in the crowd tonight? Any Michaels? Okay, that concludes my mic check.
I think that's exactly when I looked at Johnny. I'm like, he's going to be good?
And guess what? Johnny was fucking right.
Johnny can sniff potential.
He can.
He called out you, and he called out Trenton. He was like, he's going to be successful.
Trent's that motherfucker, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, Johnny's got the nose for it.
He does, man. Yeah, I don't know what he saw in me because that was bad.
I don't know. There was a weird thing when I started. Because when I started, it was just real dirt bags, real trash people. We were swerving a little bit there.
No, I was gonna merge.
Oh, okay. That I'm like, autopilot's not happy. But I had a handful of people when I first started who were like, "You're not funny, but you get it." And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And people kept telling me that in different contexts and different ways. But like, your jokes are bad, but you get it. I'm like, so what? I don't know what that means though.
Yeah.
No one's helping me. You're all just kind of being mean a little bit.
What I loved is like when there was people that like I looked up to, and then they were really mean to me, and then I get shows that they can't get now, and it feels
a little good.
It doesn't feel great. It feels amazing. I'll tell you, like there was this one person who was super mean to me. Said like this is something like a comedy booker said. It said, Jason, you know what? You remind me a lot of Chris Pratt. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Thank you. And she's like, I fucking hate Chris Pratt, and I think he's secretly conservative. And just looked at me.
Well, you are both those things.
Yeah. Chris Pratt rules. And guess what? Chris Pratt, one of the biggest movie stars of all time. So I'll take it. But yeah, like, and then, like, they had to follow me at Comedy Works one time. It was great. Made my heart sing. When I saw a look of fear in a person's eyes, it was incredible.
Yeah, I get jealous, and I get like, oh, I see people who started after me getting opportunities that I didn't get or I still have not gotten. And it upsets me. It bums me out. It shouldn't. That's not fair, and I'm getting better about it. Mm-hmm. But there's definitely a point where, yeah, people who started after me, I'm like, really? They're getting that show. They're getting Don't Tell, or they're getting The Grawlix, or they're getting whatever, and it like would really chew me up that I'm like, but I'm just as good, or I'm better than them. Whatever. It would eat you up, and it hurts. And it shouldn't. But then I had to realize, like, there's people who I started, like, they started way before I did. They've been doing stand-up for, like, 11 years, and then I started, and I've gotten to do a lot more shows than they've ever done. And I've gotten probably paid more money than they have to do more shows than they have.
Also, the fact that you run your own room is huge.
That helps.
Also, like, you're one of 3 people that run shows in Colorado Springs now.
And how many of those are bad?
Most of them are bad.
Most of them are bad.
I was thinking, like, Thad runs a good show, Corey runs a good show, you run a good show. I'm not sure what's happened at Ultra Flat. I haven't seen anyone do a comedy event there in forever. But yeah, dude. Like,
it's because the last time you were on, I yelled at everyone to do a show somewhere else, and now the Ultra Flat's going under.
Going under.
It's because of this pod has so much power.
Yeah. No, I pretty much like. I think they had a really good thing. It was just as soon as you get egos and stuff from like comedians that like think they deserve a show.
Sure.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're not willing to put the work in terms of promoting a show, that's really bad. Like, there's this guy named freaking Eddie, who I just did a show yesterday. It was sold out on a Wednesday. That's pretty good. I don't think sold out. I think it was free. I hope it was free. But it was very. It was.
What do you mean you hope it was free?
Because I didn't get paid.
Oh.
I hope it was a free show. But yeah, it was just packed out.
Was this the show that you just said earlier? You're like, I asked him if I could do a guest spot. Yeah, you don't get paid for that.
You should have got paid. Man.
You shouldn't get paid for that.
You should get paid. Anytime I touch that,
you're volunteering.
Anytime I touch that mic, I should be getting a check.
What are you, Brian?
Come on. That's awesome. Honestly, it's like, but honestly, like, there's comics like I tried to book a comic from Denver, and she was like, yeah, you know, it just has to be $200 for me to come down.
Yeah, that happened to me recently. I asked someone to come down, and they're like, it's just not worth the money for me. I'm like, we're driving to Greeley for $20.
Yeah, dude. Dude, let's go get. I'm excited for cheeseburgers. Dude.
Why are you? I thought you were making me talking to the mic. Cheeseburgers. You just wanted me to say it.
Cheeseburgers, and then just look at Russell.
Stare me down.
I was gonna say cheeseburgers and then kiss you on the neck. You want a little cheeseburger? I'm so pumped.
That is me making moves on my wife. Like, that's 100% what it is.
You want a cheeseburger?
Yeah. I try and do a bit, and then I try to seduce her, and she's like, you gotta pick an energy. You gotta pick like a tone. It's whiplash what you do to me.
That's hilarious.
But there's people who I have gotten, like, am like, man, they started 7 years ago, and I'm doing more stuff than they're doing. If I was them, I would have quit by now. I would have so quit by now. But again, it's not about, some people just doing it for the love of the game. It's not about succeeding or making money or doing shows, whatever. But the point being that, yeah, I get selfish when I see people being more successful than me, when I'm like, I deserve that. But I also have to realize there's people who are looking at me probably who are going, oh, they're being selfish, looking at me going like, I deserve all of Russell's opportunities. All this to say, yeah, there's like 4 people I could say specifically that I'm like, I'm better than you, and you started before me, and I get booked more than you, and you were mean to me when I started, and I'm glad I left you in the dust.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like people like the best revenge is success is always true. But you have to be pursuing it because it's what you want, and it's the kind of life that you want. And not out of like I need to prove something to somebody, because I think that like a lot of the times that's why people start doing like a hard thing, like whether they want to like make it to like the NFL or like be a doctor or a lawyer. It's like prove something to themselves, to their parents, but you're gonna be miserable if you're just trying to appease the person that doubted you. It's good to have it like I think about people that don't love me when I'm working out. Like, I'm, like, bench pressing, and I'm like, why wasn't it good enough for her?
Christine!
I'm like, just punching a...
I've said the only reason I post stuff on social media is, A, so that other comedians see I get booked on shows, and so they go, well, he must not be that bad. I should book him on my show.
Yeah.
It's that, or people from middle school. Hey, anyone? You're not. Hey, anyone who might be listening who I went to middle school, Colorado Springs Christian School for, I'm better than you. That's all that it is of like, there's a weird energy of like, I need people to see me be successful so that they know when I was weird in 7th grade, I'm actually cool now. Like those are the only, I don't think about high school. I don't think about college. I only think about middle school people and that I have to be better than them.
Yeah, like, definitely... Like I can tell, like, because a lot of times like ladies will do this, like they'll post something on like their Instagram story that they're like, I'm gonna show him this what I'm doing. I'm
a jugged
myself.
Up beach picture.
Jugged up beach
but that's
picture.
I'm doing the exact same thing, but with me on a bad poster made in a PowerPoint slide.
Me too. I'm just on something that was made on Canva. And I'm just like, hey, look, I'm headlining. And
Canva's great if you know anything about, like, not making a shitty poster.
Yeah, just use Canva.
Everyone just types in comedy poster template and then either uses that or they try to completely build it from scratch and they go, like, picture, comedy show, and they kind of leave it at that.
Yeah. Like, I had the friggin' just that terrible template with like the pictures. It's like the squares.
Yes.
Use that so many times.
I can tell who has Canva when they have specifically if they have 3 headshots in circle frames with a like little colored ring around it, and then the headliner is not in the circle ring. Like there's a specific thing where it's like I can tell I know exactly what template that is. There's also every bad comedy show. Hey, every bad comedy show
doesn't have us on it.
Very true. Uses that microphone that doesn't exist. Everyone knows that microphone that you would use to like record your Motown song in the 50s, 60s. When was Motown around? I don't know.
Put your head on my shoulder.
That mic that you would like hold that's made of metal and like that doesn't exist. No one's ever used that microphone since no one who's making a poster right now has ever touched or seen that microphone. And every bad comedy poster uses that mic as like the central picture specifically, and it pisses me off every time. I won't do a show if you have that old-timey mic on the poster.
I know exactly what he's talking about. Yep.
You're a bad show. No one's ever used that mic. Stop using the templates. Be creative.
The templates are good. Well,
templates are bad.
But if it's not moving, if it doesn't make a difference on moving tickets, who gives a shit?
It does make a difference.
You think so?
You'd be surprised.
I bet. I want you to A/B test Pikes Punks, and you go use a shitty flyer and see if it's how much of a difference it makes. So
tickets have improved, not significantly, but a noticeable percentage point since I've gone from since I did a little Pikes Punks rebrand back in March, April. There's been a little significant bump from the rebrand. Like you can A/B test these things, and I have.
That's pretty good.
I know what I'm talking about.
That's good.
It's everything, guys. If you're starting a small business, it doesn't matter if it's a show or if it's a podcast or if it's music or if it's a taco shop. People eat with their eyes first. It's all about the first impression. Okay, and if people go on Eventbrite and they type in comedy near me, or they go on Google and they type in tacos near me, they're going to see 1,000 options. You have to get their attention first. It doesn't matter. That's a first impression is worth. Spend hundreds of dollars on a logo, on a brand, or whatever. It's worth the money. You have to fight against a jungle of content and a jungle of imagery. There's too much. It's overwhelming to the eye. You got to catch them. You got to catch them first. You got to be eye-catching. First impressions. Spend the money.
I needed to hear that. I'm going to do that.
I scream this from the mountaintops. Do comedy shows. Save $200. Go on Fiverr. Make sure that you filter it so it's not someone from Pakistan or India because they will rip you off. Make sure it's like the United States. It happened to me so many times.
Russell's doing a little bit of a hate crime.
I would do it, and I would just be like,
the Indian and Pakistani economies.
Rajneesh, please build me a logo. And he would literally send me word art. And I'm like, can you edit this? And they couldn't because it was just word art. It's a ripoff. Filter it to be North America only and pay someone $150 to make you a logo. And it genuinely very much helps. I need to go. I think I need to go make a cool one. I want to show you mine for the JJ Alexander show. Show me. Because I'll even be on websites for like a restaurant and I'm like Italian food, and it's not fair. But there is a little bit of like, if your website's not great or like if the font you chose isn't great, I don't want to eat at your Italian restaurant. Your food might be incredible, but if it doesn't I'm like, you got a bad website. You probably don't care. If you don't care about your website, something tells me you don't care about your food, which is not true, and that doesn't make sense.
And
but
usually it's the inverse. Like, they're the best Mexican food.
It's Mexican and Chinese. You can get away with bad websites specifically.
Dude, I swear, there's not even English text on this website, man. It's good stuff.
There's a whole thing on, like, if you get Chinese in New York City, you want a 3-star Chinese restaurant. Because 3 stars means the food is excellent, but the service is bad. Like, they're mean to you. And that's how you know that the food is really great. Because they're rude and unkind, and they're fresh off the boat, and they're just here to fry you chicken. They don't care about your feelings or whatever.
That's like the opposite of Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
The opposite of Dutch Bros.
It's bad coffee, but great service.
A Chinese restaurant.
But anyways,
it's not bad coffee.
Dude.
I
drink Dutch Bros like almost every day.
I might stop by Dutchy Bros and get a little.
It was great.
Little drink.
We've talked about this. That the chocolate milk I used to just crush.
So good.
I used to just crush a large chocolate milk, no ice from Dutch Bros, and I only found out much later that is half and half.
Oh, dude.
If I told people I was just drinking 2 quarts of half and half, they're like, you're disgusting. That's what a serial killer does. But because it was chocolate milk, I'm like, this is fine and normal. But that's why it's so decadent. I'm drinking cream.
It literally, like, I think I could go the rest of my life without feeling the touch of a woman if I could just have that every day and not get fat. Like, I love it so much. If I could get all my calories for the day of just drinking half quart of half and half of chocolate milk from Dutch Bros, I'd be living a good life, man.
It leaves a film.
Oh.
It leaves like a film on your tongue behind, and it's like a memory of what once was.
Oh man, it's like, it tastes like someone melted ice cream.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. That was another thing I recently had to discover, like, too old, where it's like, if you get like, I would like a scoop or 2 scoops of ice cream. You know, do you get 1 scoop? But you know it's not going to be enough, so you get 2 scoops. But that's a lot of sugar. That's a lot of calories you don't need. And I'm like, I would always just get a shake. I'm like, I just want a chocolate shake. Do you know how much ice cream you have to put into a shake to make it? It's like 8 scoops of ice cream to make a shake. It's crazy. It only recently clicked. Like I was like watching someone make at like a Baskin Robbins. I'm like, oh my god, they put like 5 scoops in there to get the consistency.
Milkshakes at Baskin Robbins.
It's like $13.
Oh my
it's so
gosh,
expensive,
dude.
They're good though.
Oh, I bet.
What's your favorite flavor from 31
Dude,
Flavors from the old Baskin Robbins?
Chocolate brownie.
Oh.
Chocolate brownie always my favorite. I like chocolate brownie.
Ah! Wow.
The white guy podcast. Go over a bump. You go, whoa. That was a big one.
This whole episode's bad.
No, it's honestly not bad. This is not bad.
Real quick?
Yeah.
We can even cut this maybe.
Yeah.
Who are half the people you have on the JJ Alexander show? They look like homeless teens. Are they all just musicians? Who are these people? Okay. I'm like, I've never seen this guy before in my life.
No, so I had this guy.
And they all look oiled up.
Musician guy. I had another musician on. I have you on. Then I have Joe McKenna. Then I have Josh Emerson.
Love Joe. Love Josh.
Jake Tupizza.
No idea who that is.
Then I have Mason King.
Oh, I do know Jake. I literally just did a show with Jake. I hear Tupizza, and you said Tupizza. Jake is very funny.
He's very funny.
Thad was telling me he did a show with him, and it was like almost exclusively all women. And Jake, I guess, has a very specific opener that he does. And so it was like woman host, she brings up woman comedian does well, she gets off, woman host comes up, brings out another woman comedian.
That's a good joke.
Woman comedian brings nice, very funny.
Fucking get him, dude.
But it's like
my availability is March 1st.
It was like 3 women in a row with a woman host in between each one of them, and then the woman host goes like,
them.
and next up, Joe to pizza, and his opener is like, and I'm sorry, Jake, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like, quiet down, a man's talking now. And he does it every time, but especially after 3 women and another woman just brought you up of like, and one of my favorites, Jake, and to be like, quiet down, a man's talking now is crazy. That's so funny.
Oh, that is very funny.
So good. Yeah, he's great. I mean, I've seen his name around, but I don't think I've seen him do stand-up before, and I saw him like a week ago, and he's very funny. I like him quite a bit. And then Thad ate it, and it was very funny for me.
Yeah, man. That's how that goes, man.
I love seeing any one of my friends eating it is funny every time. There's nothing funnier than watching your friends just wear the leather up there. So much fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I root against people sometimes. I'm a bad person.
Why?
It's just like, you go see him up there, and you're like, you know what? Stuff's been going too good for you for too long. And then you hope they fail. And you just stare at them at the Looney's open mic, and then they don't do very well. And you can tell they're disheveled, and you know they're going through their notes. You're like, what went wrong? And then you look at them, and they're on the verge of tears, and that brings a smile to your face. You know what I'm talking about.
You started being real, and then you kind of pivoted midway through to be like, no, this is a bit I'm doing, instead of like giving a quick sneak behind the scenes look at your psyche.
Behind my eyes, just being like, you know what, freaking, you know what.
No, you're very competitive, so I don't doubt at all that you root against your friends to see them fail.
No, I'm not sure to see them fail, because the thing is that I want people that are going to be able to open up for me someday. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm.
That's why you're bringing me.
No, dude.
I did when I texted when Jared was like, "Hey, do you want to come up and do Stella's?" And I'm like, "I would love to." And he's like, "Cool, Jason's on the show. You guys can drive up together." I'm like, did Jason ask for me? Well, he said Jason's on the show, and then I saw that you're headlining the show. And I texted you, I'm like, I am excited to drive up with you. It will be fun. I do obviously enjoy spending time with you. You are a friend of mine. It does hurt my feelings. It's like, yeah, Russell could come open for me. Fuck you. Fuck you. No.
No, man. Like, literally, you would hunt, like, the fact that you've not headlined yourself at Pike's Punks is stupid.
That's another thing. Insane. If you do a show to headline yourself, you suck.
You're wrong.
You're not
You're
good.
Dude,
if you have to headline yourself, you're not good at comedy.
I completely disagree. You have to create your own opportunity before anyone's going to give it to you. I had to headline myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing this show, and I'm headlining one down in April too.
I think it's fine to feature yourself of like, hey, I'm going to put myself on for 15 minutes. I'm going to let someone else host, but I got to work some stuff out. But to headline yourself is a loser. It's such a loser choice.
You're so wrong. This is what happens when you have no ambition. You try to make an excuse. You 100% should, because like the thing is like, who are you waiting on to give you the go ahead, Russell? Who's the magical person that you think is more talented than you? That's gonna be like, guess what, Russell? Now you're a headliner. Because I've seen you do the longer sets. They're very good. I enjoy watching Russell. I like it.
Tell your friends.
I'll tell your friends.
No, I'm not waiting for a magical person to come bestow it to me.
Yeah.
But there's an element of like.
Yeah, I can get that.
There's like. Some people are very good at the illusion of like billing themselves as a headliner and choosing to headline like, I will headline these bad shows because I will be the best person on that show to show everyone that I am a headliner. And then people don't know if it's a good show or bad show. They just see that you're headlining, and you get the reputation of you have been headlining shows. You just must be a headliner. I need someone for a show. I guess this guy headlines. I've seen him on posters before. I need someone. I run a weekly show. Do you want to headline my show now? I understand a lot of the mentality and a lot of business acumen around why doing certain things is more successful. I just don't care enough. Yeah. Like, to headline, eventually it will just be like, and maybe it never will, but eventually someone will just go like, hey man, I need someone to headline my show, and I'll go, cool. And I will have just earned it instead of begging for it or putting myself, I don't know. There's just, at some point, someone will ask me to headline, or at some point they won't. And I'm just letting God take it. Like,
you cannot compare it to God.
I'm just letting God decide if I'm a headline. God deeply cares about my stand-up career.
I hope that God wasn't like, hey, Jason, guess what? You're a headliner now.
You're not. Also, that's one time I posted something about a Pike's Funk show, and I was like, I posted something like, "Oops, all headliners! Look at this killer lineup." And Sam Talent messaged me, and he went, "Who the fuck are the headliners on this show?" And I was like, "Well, they've headlined some local bar shows in Lakewood," and he's like, "Exactly right." He's like, headlining shows does not make you a headliner. That kind of thing. So it's
I needed to hear that today.
Yeah, just you being the
you're the last comedian that went up.
The Kuyon comedy show I just did at Trinity. Yeah. Whoa.
This podcast
was bad. I went on last. Yep. I went on last, and so people, a handful of the comics were like, "Oh, so are you headlining?" I'm like, "I am closing the showcase." Yeah. I wasn't billed as the headliner. It's not like Russell Keller and friends are here. It was just like, I just happened to be going last. I think there's like a intrinsic value to headlining that you can't put a thought. It's like, I think you're someone who agrees with me on this, and not a lot of people do. Crushing has to mean something. Everyone says I crush. Not everyone says I crush. I have done shows and people are like, you crushed. And I'm like, no, I just did the job. The job is to make people laugh. I made people laugh the whole time. That's just doing the job. Crushing means something special. Yeah, it's got to be something. Yeah, and people throw it around too flippantly.
Yeah. It's even like you can get like your laughs per minute.
Crushing and Nazi. Those two words don't mean anything anymore. The liberals have stripped all meaning from both crushing and Nazi.
Oh, I really hope we can go this way. Okay. Whoa.
We got here in record time.
Yes, we did, man. I might go to that Dutch Bros. We're gonna do it.
Hey, we should. We're pulling over. We can close it out, Jason.
Let's do the one on the way home too.
Yeah, that'll be yours. This one will be mine. This is my podcast. The one on the way home is your podcast.
Oh my god, that sounds incredible. I think I'm gonna park behind. That's good. This was very fun.
This was fun.
Do you have any closing statements? Anything you wanted to get off your chest?
The liberals. No.
Dude, hell yeah. I mean, I love them, man. Here's I do love liberals sometimes, you know, because like who else am I going to be able to manipulate? You know, like
who else am I going to take advantage of?
Who else is going to be able to pay all the taxes?
We need the liberals to tell the conservatives that the system is broken.
That's true.
Because the conservatives will just go like, no, it's fine. It's always been fine. It's always going to be fine. You don't have to touch anything. And if you touch anything, you hate patriotism and you hate democracy. It's up to the liberals to say, hey, these systems are broken, and that's important. We need dichotomy. We need juxtaposition.
We do.
In this country.
Anyways,
I should run for president.
Oh, I just farted. You should run for president. Thanks for having me on the pod, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and doing the show.
No one ever makes it this far, but please subscribe to the podcast.
I knew to say that in the beginning.
No, I say it at the very end because I only want the real ones subscribing.
No, that actually that's a good note. I'm gonna start
please follow. Hey, please follow Pikes Punks. Unrelated. Please come to Pikes Punks.
Come to Pikes Punks.
Follow.
I'm doing Pikes Punks.
Jason's doing Pikes Punks.
I can't wait to go Barry Elliott.
Follow the JJ Alexander Hour.
Alexander Show. JJ Alexander Show. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
That was fun.
That was a bad one.